שיהיה בבית. אנחנו במושב של הזוית הבינלאומית. לפני שאני אקרא ליושבת ראש מנהלת המושב הזה, אני רק רוצה להזכיר שהכנס הבא שלנו הוא נדמה לי ב4 לאפריל, נכון? 3 לאפריל? חדשנות צעירה, מה שאנחנו קוראים, זאת אומרת חדשנות בכלל, אבל עם דגש על הדורות שהמוח שלהם עוד לא התייבש. והכנס שבא, שיהיה אחריו, זה כנס שיהיה ב6 ביוני, תאריך שאני מניח אומר לכם משהו. ב6 ביוני הוא יהיה כנס גדול, הוא יהיה בסמולש, כמו שעשינו בשנה שעברה. הוא יהיה כנס בינלאומי, זאת אומרת, חציו יהיה בינלאומי, מאנשים מבחוץ. הוא יתעסק בנושאי סייבר למיניהם, כמו שעשינו בשנה שעברה. יש לי העונג להזמין את דוקטור דגנית פייקובסקי, שהיא המנהלת האקדמית של סדנת יובל, נאמן, למדע, טכנולוגיה וביטחון, ועשתה את הדוקטורט שלה פה באוניברסיטת תל אביב בענייני חלל, למושב הזה. דגנית, בבקשה.
בוקר טוב. מאחר ואורח הכבוד במושב הזה לא דובר עברית, ואת הצרפתית שלי לא כדאי שאתם תשמעו, אז תרשו לי לעבור לאנגלית. Good morning. I have the honor of opening the second session today, a session that is focused on the international politics of space sustainability. The speakers of the previous session discussed the various threats posed to space systems, the ways to evaluate them, and in part also addressed and presented ways to mitigate and overcome the challenges. Nevertheless, the issue of space security and space sustainability cannot be comprehensively discussed and understood without a deep examination of the political context. And space is a very political arena. In the days of the Cold War, it was the theater that allowed the superpowers to project their power and supremacy in a rather peaceful manner, if I can say. In a way, today, 2 decades after the end of the Cold War, things have not changed much. Space is still perceived as a means and as a symbol of power. Nevertheless, today, the space environment is much more congested, contested, and competitive. What happens in space, what goes through space, is highly important to our daily life on Earth. Therefore, almost every country, whether spacefaring or not, is interested and eager to affect this environment. The global powers, as well as medium-sized and small nations like Israel, use space to project their power. And the question is if and for how long it will remain peaceful. The United States, Russia, China, Europe, and others all agree that assuring space sustainability, space security is significant, but they differ on the mechanisms of achieving this important goal. The international treaties concerning the accepted legal behavior in space were formulated under the Cold War atmosphere and are not compatible with the tremendous technological change human activity in space has gone through since. As a result, there is a growing need for new internationally accepted norms concerning the standards of behavior in space. In the last several years, Russia and China promoted initiatives in the UN for the prevention of arms races in outer space. Knowing that the US, so concerned about its freedom of access and the freedom of use of space, would almost automatically object. Indeed, the United States strongly objected these initiatives, PAROS, PPWT, and others that I will not go into here. And the Americans are concerned with the fact that the lack of effective mechanisms of supervision and inspection would allow its partners to disobey the rules and eventually threatening American national security. It was under this context that the European Union proposed the Code of Conduct in December of 2008. The European Code of Conduct is a non-binding agreement which states can join voluntarily. Its main objective is to serve as a confidence-building measure for future discussion and international consent. In the last year, the Obama administration carefully reviewed the European proposal. Last January, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton gave the following announcement, and I quote, "The United States has decided to join the European Union and other nations to develop an international code of conduct for outer space activities. A code of conduct will help maintain the long-term sustainability, safety, stability, and security of space by establishing guidelines for the responsible use of space." As we begin the work, the United States has made clear to our partners that we will not enter into a code of conduct that in any way constrains our national security-related activities in space or our ability to protect the United States and our allies. We are, however, committed to working together to reverse the troubling trends that are damaging our space environment and to preserve the limitless benefits and promise of space for future generations. I don't know what you make of it, but I'm confused. So is there or isn't there an American green light for the Code of Conduct? It's not clear. Let me turn now and present to you our keynote speaker today, Mr. Nicolas Roche, who would elaborate more on the European perspective. Mr. Roche is the first counselor and deputy chief of mission at the French Embassy in Israel. He is a graduate of the Sorbonne and the Institute of Political Studies. He joined the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 2001 and has worked on security and defense issues, including weapons of mass destruction, nuclear non-proliferation, and space. Nicolas, please.